Welcome to Agromedia. I'm here with Mr. Daniel Lakai, the owner of Eden Green Agro Consult, and then the face behind the Eden Agronomist. Mr. Lakai, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Agriculture, a dreaded topic among many people, both young and old. It's a topic that people have so many ideas about, but you chose to go into agriculture and make a business out of it. Why?
According to Maslow's theory, food is one of the basic things everybody requires to live. And you can testify that at least once a day you take in food. So it means that there's a demand for food. Therefore, there is someone who must make sure he provides the food. And I've positioned myself along the value chain to help in the food production.
So how did you start?
Even though I completed my first degree as an agronomist, in fact, the zeal to start something in agriculture wasn't there, which was that the confidence was not there. But when I had the opportunity to go to AgriTalk, when I went through the greenhouse production training, when I came back, I was like, no, I don't have to leave this practical knowledge to go out just like that. Another point that came in fact, now I was nearly getting to explosion, was when we went to Israel. In fact, that opportunity was great. In fact, I had very good exposure and all that. So when I came back, no, then let me position myself, make it more of a business in a consultancy arena. So from there, I registered the business.
Which aspect of the agricultural value chain do you belong? Why did you position yourself?
Well, I conducted, let me say, a research, and I realized that comparing Ghana to elsewhere, if you give two people, one in Ghana and the other person, let's say in the Western country, this piece of land to cultivate, the one in the Western country will make a lot out of this piece of land. But once in Ghana, you go and the kind of thing that's going on there, at the end of the day, someone will even say that farming is not lucrative. So I'm trying to bridge the gap in our system of production where people begin to feel like agriculture is not productive.
Mr. Lakai, anytime we talk about agriculture, just as you have said, the predominant theme you hear is food. So a lot of people out there think that agriculture is all about food production. And so if it is not about producing food, or if it has to do about food production, then they are into agriculture. Now, are there other related dynamics to the whole agriculture idea that people need to know?
It's not only about food production. We also look at raw materials, for instance, like cotton for the production of cloth and other things. So many other things from, let's say, timber is also another form of agriculture. But the reason why people most of the time refer agriculture as food production is because everybody needs food to survive. So the focus point is more. If you take the food production value chain, let's take that sector alone. We have people who are into seed production. They don't necessarily go into the production of the food, but they produce seed. We have, along the value chain, we have people who also produce fertilizers. Along the value chain, we have consultants. They don't produce any seed or fertilizer, but they will come and tell you how to produce your food so that it will be more economical, so that you can make a lot of profit. Along the value chain, we have people who even transport their food. Along the value chain, we have food processing units. Along the value chain, we have people who just go and aggregate food and sell it to people who are willing to buy. So the value chain is very broad. So we have to educate people that agriculture is not only about the food production, but you can position yourself along the value chain and create job for yourself.
what is the name of your fertilizer?
The general name of the fertilizer is Eden Fertimix.
Eden
Fertimix. Eden Fertimix, yeah. And with the Eden Fertimix, we have 5 different fertilizers.
Can you share with us?
Yeah, so we have the root builder, we have the vegetative builder, we have the fruit former, we have the structure support, and the green booster.
I see. That's interesting.
Sure.
Now, you have your fertilizer that you are currently trying. What is unique? How does your product solve the problems that you have actually talked about?
So, with my product, first, one way to address most of the problems farmers are encountering was to formulate a fertilizer that would be easier to use by the farmer. We have formulated the fertilizer in different forms.
Okay.
So we have fertilizer that will be used after transplanting. And at the vegetative phase, we have a different fertilizer. If you are growing crops that require flower formation, we have a fertilizer for that. And the fruiting phase, we have a fertilizer for that. In doing so, it enables the plant to grow efficiently and also produce as well.
So if I'm to use your product, then I'm supposed to get all of these different fertilizers for different stages of the production I'm doing. Is it cost effective?
Affordability cannot only be defined in cost of monetary terms. It can also be defined in terms of yield. So if you buy fertilizer which is cheaper and you apply it and you're not getting the yield, it's very expensive.
Good.
So we are looking at where we give the farmer what the plant needs to grow very well and produce to increase your profit.
With regard to this product, is it an organic fertilizer? What should Ghanaian expect? What will be the effect or the impact on the consumer?
I always tell people that as an agronomist, I'm not against organic food production, and I'm also not against inorganic food production. But my concern has been clean farming. Clean farming means that you must know what you are doing and doing it precisely. So what I'm saying is that if you are doing organic farming, if you are doing inorganic farming, ensure that you know what you are doing.
Okay.
This cucumber was harvested on the 1st of December. And today being 19th of February, the cucumber is still fresh. The only difference is that it's ripe.
It is not shrinking.
It's not shrinking.
As we commonly can see.
So what I did was, I placed the cucumber in the kitchen so that the condition prevailing in the kitchen, hopefully, is expected to act on the cucumber, like heat and all that can affect its freshness. And here we are. The cucumber is still fresh. So to achieve this, you have to do something more. But most of our farmers do a lot of mistakes. So their crops after harvesting, in less than 2 days, they are going bad.
Sometimes the tomatoes we even get on the market, in about a matter of days, or sometimes a week, we are all going bad and all of that. But you have been able to adopt a certain technique that could preserve this for a very long time. What are you doing differently?
The on-field production, when done right, can prolong the shelf life of the crop. One aspect of it is using the right amount of fertilizer, the levels, and making sure you provide the plant with all the necessary crop nutritional elements the plant require so that they can grow well. Let me give you one instance why most of the vegetables we buy outside go bad within few hours. Most of the farmers in Ghana know of only NPK fertilizers that providing the plant with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But it will amaze you that every plant requires about 16 elements. So out of the 16, we only provide 3.
So I can see a mini project,
Sure.
an experiment that you are conducting. Can you share a little about what we are seeing?
Sure. So
And this is happening in your home.
my home in Dakuma.
In Dakuma, yes.
So when I started producing the fertilizer, which is still not registered, because we are still conducting trials to be able to ascertain the efficacy of the fertilizer before we put it out on the market. So what you see here is a trial we are conducting on onion to examine the effect of our fertilizer on the onion. On our market, sometimes you go and buy a single fertilizer and they will tell you can use this fertilizer for everything. In the agronomical point of view, one fertilizer can do everything, because even with onion, at different stages, you have to come in with different fertilizers at different levels. And for instance, you can go and buy a fertilizer which is for vegetative growth. Then you are going to make it. You realize that the plant is producing only leaves.
Well, apart from what you do at home, the trials you are
Sure.
conducting at home, have you served other farmers with some of these products, and what has been the feedback?
Yes, I've done trials as far as places in Brongahafo, in the north, and even here in Accra. And I even told you about Sefiwi also, where we did some trials on rice. We have even done trials with cocoa. And in fact, it was amazing.
What have been some of your works so far as irrigation system installation is concerned?
So currently, there's a project I'm working on at Legon, where we are installing an irrigation system for a commercial market garden. I've done irrigation systems in the South Pond area behind Infantiman School, Botiano. I've done some works. In fact, so many of them I can't recall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's quickly move on to training, because you mentioned training as
Sure.
part of the services you
Sure.
offer.
Sure.
The training you conduct, what is it about? And is it that people call on you to come and train them, or you organize your own training sessions and then you invite people to join? What is the training normally about, and how do you get it organized?
So most of the time, the training focus on the production.
Vegetable
production. And sometimes I organize the training, but in recent time, most people call on me to help them. So sometimes a farm owner will tell you, even though I have no idea about the farming, I would like to gain some knowledge so that at least I can manage the people I'm working with. Sometimes they can call you to even train the workers, which is very, very important.
Train them in what specific?
Train them about agronomic practices,
Such as
maybe how to apply fertilizer, how to do spraying of insecticides and fertilizers, how to construct a good bed, how to like land preparation in general. So agronomic practices in general.
what I hold in my hands right now is a tomato that was harvested last year, December. And today is 19th of February. Viewers, let's be just frank. You go on the market to buy tomato. How long does it even last in your fridge? You can only see that it has shrunk, but the tomato still looks fresh. It still looks fair. And this is the kind of touch we are talking about from the Eden Agro Consult. How you can have such a tomato maintain a longer shelf life for over 3 months or almost 3 months now. And these are the things we want to talk about. And to you out there thinking about entering into agriculture, as you have heard Mr. Lakai, the value chain is huge. You may not be interested in food production. You may be interested in food processing. You may be interested in food storage and packaging. This is the moment that you can take advantage of. But if you want to go into food production, bear in mind that a lot of things must be understood, and you need to understand them from the right people. And that is why the Eden Agronomist exists. That is why the Eden Green Agro Consult exists. So thank you so much for your time, and we hope to be on your screens again some other time. Bye-bye.